This is a podcast about all things health and well-being with me, Ask Elizabeth, counsellor, health advocate and blogger. Join me as we get to know these guests and learn about how they implement health, well-being and self-care practices into their lives. Welcome to Unearthing Wellbeing with Ask Elizabeth, where our greatest wealth is health. Hi, Elizabeth here. This next guest is motoring journalist and presenter Emma Notarfrancesco. You may have seen her interviewing F1 drivers, or perhaps you've read her articles from Car Advice. I was delighted to have her on, and we spoke about where her passion for motorsports began, fashion, and her newly purchased Ducati, including how she's counting down the days until she can ride it down the Mornington Peninsula. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the driven Emma Notarfrancesco. Hey, babe. Thank you so much, Emma, for coming on. Welcome to Unearthing Wellbeing, where your greatest wealth is health.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am 34 and I'm a motoring journalist, which I think is in the top 10 of all-time greatest jobs in the world. And I basically got there. Well, I have to say, I've got two older brothers. I have an amazing family, and I think I have them to thank really for being a part of this world, because I grew up absolutely loving everything motorsport thanks to them. And yeah, they are a great influence on my life. So I have a really close family. My mum's Australian, but my father's Italian. So we have a real Italian cultural background, and we love all the Italian traditions. But yeah, as I said, we're really close. Family is everything to me. So when I'm not working, I am spending time with my family. So family, friends are everything to me. I love food. I love wine, and I love my job as well. So I've recently just got a new job with Car Advice as a motoring journalist. And as I said, it's a great job. It is my dream role, and I've been working hard for just over 10 years now in the media industry to land a gig like this. And yeah, I love every single part of it. It's basically, people say to me, what do you do? Just drive around in cars, which is not true at all, but it is the fun part of it. But yeah, it's a journalist role, but I do get to drive around in some pretty cool cars on a daily basis. So I feel very blessed to be doing the role that I'm doing now.
Oh, I love that. And I can relate with the Italian and big family orientated part. And congratulations on the new role. That's very exciting. And you recently got your Ducati license as well.
Yes, so I haven't got my license as yet, but I'm learning how to ride this Ducati, which is beautiful. It's a big, shiny red bike. It's a Ducati Monster 659. I never really thought to get my bike license. I mean, I've been riding dirt bikes on my farm from a really young age, but it's so different riding a bike on a road. But yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. I'm really looking forward to the day that I can just, get out, jump on my bike and be like, okay, I'm riding down to the Mornington Peninsula on my own. But I need to get better. So I'm actually doing some one-on-one bike lessons first before I go out and do all that. But yes, it's a great little relationship that I've forged with Ducati. And again, the Italian influence there as well. So yeah, bikes, cars, I've got it all going at the moment. It's been a really great end to a testing 2020.
100%.
Yes.
And that is so exciting. At least you've got a sexy red bike in your garage now.
I know. And you know what? Like, I really don't like the color red. I hate to say that, but I think that you have to get a Ducati in red. It's kind of like how people say you have to get a Ferrari red, which I don't actually believe in. But I think, a Ducati looks even sexier in red.
Yeah, definitely. I like what you're a journalist, a host, pit reporter, executive producer, ambassador. How do you juggle all of those? Mind you, for the listeners out there, I had to read that because you've got so many different roles. Like, yeah.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Well, it does sound like a lot, but I think we're women, right? We can multitask really well. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm on the phone to my friend and I'm trying to write a text message at the same time. I'm not listening to anything that they're saying.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I think I have always been a real planner, and I think it's all about looking forward. So when you've got a really big week ahead, you really need to just try and have schedules in place and know, like, while yes, it's great to multitask, I think it's good to actually work on one task at a time sometimes. So when I know that I've got, double duties one week, if I've got, the other week I had Australian Superbikes at the same time as drive car of the year. So I knew that, okay, I've got to put aside a few hours a night to work just like solely on this task. Then, the next night I'm going to do this task. It's kind of like, when you're in year 12 and you're like, okay, I'm going to work on accounting tonight. I'm going to work on German tonight. I really just make sure that I have structure in my life and I'm not going off half an hour on this and then I'm going to move on to emails and then I'm going to do half an hour on this because, that just clutters my brain. So I'm all about checklists and schedules. I think you really need to have a plan in place, especially for a really busy week like that. And you need to also to make sure that you're not burning out. It's all about creating that balance in your life. I know it's easier said than done because people say, I do burn out. I'm not going to lie. I'm 100% I've burnt out many times before. I probably just burnt out the other week. But, you really do need to try your best to create some balance in your life. And whether that means that you take an hour out of your day, your morning, to go and do a run, go and have a walk, spend some time with a friend, go have a dinner, then you need to do that because it can't just be all work, work, work. It can't just be all stress in your life. So, sometimes if I do have that really busy week, I'll think, no, I can have Thursday night just to do this and just to spend time with this person. Or I make sure on Wednesday nights I am at family dinner. And if I touch my phone, I get in so much trouble. I just, you need to focus, I think, on one thing at a time. That is my advice.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I really should take my own advice.
We're so good at giving advice and not taking it on. Like, what can you do?
Exactly.
But that's great advice, especially for someone like I can relate to that so much where I'm an organized person. I like to organize things and OCD can get in the way and anxiety as well, like when you're too overwhelmed. So having those checklists in place and doing like ticking one off at a time is so much more, I guess,
satisfying.
Yeah, satisfying when you know that you're actually accomplishing stuff as opposed to having all those things in your head saying, yep, I've got to do this, this, and this, and then just getting overwhelmed by the thought of having 1,000 things to do and such little time to do it.
My girlfriends know that I have daily checklists. When I'm on the move, that's something I have on my phone. It's a daily checklist. I don't know if that sounds odd, but that's just me. That's the way that I work on a daily basis. I need my checklists in place. And you're right, it is satisfying. And this is just normal. I mean, it's normal for, young people. I'm not going to say just women, but I think men as well. Like, it's overwhelming. People have a lot on their plates these days, and God, throw some kids in there too. I don't know how people do that, but there's a lot going on. So I think people need to work with a bit of structure.
Definitely. And one of those roles is an ambassador for FIA, Women in Motorsports. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. So the former British racing driver, Susie Wolff, I don't know if you've heard of her. So she actually started it over in the UK and it came to Australia, it was around 2018. which and I became an ambassador pretty much straight away. So FIA Girls on Track is a program designed to encourage young women to get involved in motorsport, and we've actually stretched the age limit, so it's from 8 to 18-year-olds now, which is great. So as an ambassador, I go around to schools all around Australia along with other amazing ambassadors that are involved, and we have workshops in place, and we show kids, we basically tell kids, not tell them, but not make them or anything, but show them what is in place, what offers there are and pathways in motorsport. So I run the media component, and then there are, STEM workshops, there are fitness challenges. There are so many, fun avenues to take, whether you're a pit reporter, whether you're on TV, you're a tyre scrutineer, you're a mechanic, and they are able to see, it's not just about being a man and being a mechanic and working, in a shed. There are so many different avenues that you can take to be a part of motorsport. And I always say that, if I had something like this in place at our school, or if I was able to see some of these things, that perhaps, I would be an engineer or something by now, or maybe I would have gotten into something like this a lot earlier, but I just, never really knew about any of this when I came out of uni. But it is good to see more hands-on, practical little classes and workshops, and the kids really love it. They come in at the start and they think, like they're just like rolling their eyes and they're so bored and they're like, what on earth are we here for? But at the end of the day, they're like, I want to be an engineer. I want to be a race car driver. I want to be on TV. And it's just really cool. And it makes you really proud to think that you may have just changed one young girl's mind, when you come to think of motorsport, because I think it can be quite, you think of that word motorsport and it may not be so appealing. But as I said, there are a lot of different avenues, and I think it's become a lot cooler these days. You see so many more women up and down pit lanes, and so many more women in, just sport even, and on a broadcast lineup. So I really enjoy the role, and I'm doing more in 2021. Obviously this year a lot of things were more virtual, but I've really enjoyed going around and chatting to kids and even mentoring young women.
That's amazing. And it's all about education at the end of the day. And if you're able to inspire one person, like, that's really special.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all about just creating awareness.
Yeah.
Just telling them what there is, because if they don't know, then how can they even follow any sort of path?
100%. And the fact is, I think, as you said before, males, it generally was a male dominant world, motorsports and sports
absolutely.
in general. And the fact that FIA is allowing women and young ladies the platform to even think about going down that path is amazing. Because at the end of the day, like, I think it's changing slowly, but having these avenues is amazing to have available to us.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, I mean, I didn't have anything like that back at school, but I think it's nice because just at the end of the day, just the questions that they have and wanting to know more. I just wish there was more available. There's more grassroots sports available for these young women. I mean, they're starting now. We have in Australian Superbike, we have it's called Oceania Junior Cup. So we have something for young kids to start, riding. But there's really not a lot of grassroots sports out there for people to start young in Australia and move up. Whereas, overseas you do see quite a lot, and there's a lot of costs involved. But behind the scenes, being a mechanic, being up and down a lane, there's a lot available to people. You've just got to show people that no, it's not. You don't have to be a man to be in a garage.
Yeah.
So that's our job, and we'll keep going at it until people are more aware.
That's amazing. And you gave me the opportunity to speak to a V8 supercar racer, Emily Dugan.
Emily Duggan,
Yeah.
yes. And she is an ambassador as well.
Yeah.
Yes. She's amazing. We have a great time together going around and doing all this, going around Australia.
And it's great to
I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she drives those cars.
Oh, I know. I was
It freaks me out watching her sometimes.
It's like, how does it feel like driving around racing at 200 plus kilometers per hour? She's like, I love it. I'm like, oh, I'd freak out. I'm like one of those anonymous driving down the freeway. If people want to overtake, go for it.
Please go for it. I am the person that's overtaking. No, she's she's got that real no fear element in her, but she's done so well, and she should be very proud of where she's at in her career.
As should you, though. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And you've got a keen eye for fashion. How would you describe your style? Is it an expression of your identity, or?
Yeah, I'm going to laugh about this for a second because before I go out with my friends. It is a known fact that I will be wearing a ball gown, and I get a text message or a call before saying, we're just going to a pub, do not wear your ball gown. I like to overdress. Why not, right? So I'm either wearing my gym gear or my ball gown. There is no in between. I do not own a pair of flat shoes. That is just the way that it is. But absolutely, I see it as a form of identity. I love getting dressed up, and I really do push the boundaries with things that I wear. I like to describe my fashion as probably elegant yet edgy. So the way that I dress, if I'm wearing something classic like a nice blazer, I might add some sort of funky brooch to it, or like a funky earrings. Like I really have a lot of vintage stuff from my mother and my grandmother that I like to add. So yeah, I do see it as the way that you can identify yourself and have like a little bit of fun with the way that you dress always. And as I said, yeah, it's one or the other. There is no in between. I really love getting dressed up. I'm always in my heels. I love being in high heels, and I also get in trouble because I'm tall enough as it is. So I'm always towering over everyone when I'm wearing my high heels.
I love it.
But I do love my sneakers as well. I kind of have a thing for sneakers. So when I'm in my my gym gear, there's always a new pair of sneakers.
And is there a favorite color that you love
black.
to wear?
It's not a color. I am always in black. It's a Melbourne thing, right? I need to add more colours into my wardrobe. But at the moment, it's just black, 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 white, grey, black, 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 black. That's about it. My whole wardrobe is black. It's really terrible, isn't it?
It's funny you say that because, like you were saying before, that red you're just not really into. That's why I was like, I wonder what your favourite colour is. That's the answer.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I can't. Can I pull off red? I don't think I can. I don't think I'm a red kind of girl. Yeah, look, I'll give it a go maybe with matching lippy, but I cannot pull off like an orange. I need to be like very, very tanned to pull off an orange. Green, I love an emerald green actually. Emerald green is kind of my colour, but that's because it's my birthstone. I'll push the boundaries with an emerald green, but that's probably as far as I'll go, sorry.
No, you look good in emerald green. I've seen some of your blazers and it's like amazing.
Thank you.
It's like, I want to take some stuff out of your wardrobe.
Thanks. You can take it because I wear it once and I'll never wear it again. So
me too.
Off you go.
Thank you very much. I must say, like a few years ago, it was my cousin / your friend's wedding at the NGV, and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing.
Oh my God, I was wearing glitter. I was wearing a glitter gown, which is sparkles, which is pretty standard for me. Yeah.
But nonetheless, still amazing.
I do remember that outfit. Again, never wore that again. Still sits there.
Doesn't matter. It's great. You can like start doing a catalogue. Maybe NGV will take your outfits.
Oh, geez. I don't know if it's that special, but thanks.
Oh, that's so funny. You said before, going back to the questions and like unearthing your well-being, you said before that you utilize sport as one of your forms of self-care. What else do you tend to lean towards?
Yeah, so I think working out is 100% so important, not just for your physical, but for your mental. I eat, I'm quite healthy with my eating, unless it's, an Italian dinner where I'm forced to eat salami and prosciutto. I'm quite a healthy eater. I'm quite not strict with my eating, but just quite healthy. I try and meditate in the mornings when I can as well, because it stops me from picking up my phone and just sitting on my emails and Instagram. So I find that when it's quite a stressful week, I'll try and do some meditation either in the morning or at night if I can't sleep. What else? You know what I do a lot? You're gonna laugh at this one, and I don't even know if answers the question, but I really love getting up in the morning, putting some music on, and dancing. Like I dance around the house, even in the shower. Like you got to dance, right? I think it makes you happy. It really wakes you up, and I think it's a great form of well-being. It makes you really happy. Music makes you happy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that. I think that's really important, and it's a known fact that it releases endorphins. So
there you go. Yeah. So if you don't want to exercise, put some music on in the morning, everyone, and just dance.
Definitely, that's my go-to when I'm feeling shitty. Pump up that music, whether it be J-Lo,
yeah, bit of
or
R&B, bit of house.
Kylie. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Pump it up, dance, and you forget your problems 100%.
Yeah. The other thing also, sorry, I follow like a pretty strict skin regime, which I think needs to be done, and a lot of people forget, but it does make you feel so much better on a daily.
And what is that? Tell us more.
So I use this skincare company, which I've just started using probably about 3 months ago, and morning and night I've got quite a few steps, but it's one thing that's just really worked for me. I'm not like trying to sell them or anything. I'm not their ambassador, but yeah, I've always had really bad acne. And I've just tried everything for my skin, but I really, really do stand by this product because it's got like, I now actually stick to the steps. I never stick to the steps of anything, but morning and night hydrating my skin, I think it's really important to follow steps in a regime when it comes to skincare.
And it's also what you put into your mouth. So if you're eating healthy, you're going to reap the benefits externally as well. Exactly. And your skin is beautiful. Like obviously people won't be able to see this, but if they scroll through your Instagram, they'll see that even if you're wearing makeup only hides like limited amounts of like blemishes and stuff. So you've got really beautiful skin.
Thank you. Well, it's taken time. I actually had really, really bad acne. This has taken me a really long time to get to. And it's about doing all of those things together. So it's about eating right, looking after yourself, and having a really good skin regime.
I 100% agree. I think if you want to avoid like premature wrinkles and stuff like that, you need to make sure you're following a good routine. I follow the same thing, like whether it be cleansing, like in the shower or after your shower, then moisturizer, the oils and stuff. I think it's really important to incorporate those into your regime so your skin's supple and shiny and glossy and whatever it may be. And the more natural, the better as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, well, that's great. And like, yeah, you've mentioned basically all the go-tos that you use for self-care, which is fantastic. I think a lot of people will be nodding and agreeing in agreement with you that they're helpful and productive for them too. So thank you for that. And for those who are inspired by you and want to follow in your footsteps, what would be your advice to them?
Okay, I would say, if you want to be in an industry like mine, my advice to you is don't do it. No, I'm joking. I would say, make sure that you have thick skin. Most is one of the most important things. It's not the easiest industry to be in. I would also say find a mentor. It's really important if you're in this industry to have support around you, to ask questions, and to have a mentor. I'm always going back to my mentors. One of them is, the very first producer that I ever had on one of my first motorsport jobs, and I still go to him, on a monthly basis asking for advice. I think having a mentor is really, really important. I think staying true to yourself is also very important, and who you are. I mean, a lot of people, and I've fallen into this trap before, but you can very easily become molded into what someone might want you to be on air for a specific job. So it's really important to just stay true to yourself, have your own voice, and be who you want to be on air, on the radio, whatever kind of job that you're in. You can easily just become whatever that audience wants you to be, or whatever that producer wants you to be. So that can be really tough. And that's my advice to you. Just make sure that you are who you want to be and you stay in control of that. Also, just make sure that you have support in your friends and family as well. I don't think I could have been in this industry without the support of my family. Have always been amazing to me and my friends. What else? Ask for help. Stay in touch with people. Network. It's really important. Knock on doors. Like, you have to knock down doors if you want to be in this industry. Just don't give up. I mean, I thought with COVID, honestly, I know everyone's had a really tough year, and I actually lost my job at the start of COVID. A lot of people may not know that. I thought that I was just going to give up and go into a completely different field. I thought, maybe that this is the end of the road for me, but just don't ever give up. If you've got that drive and you've got that passion and this is where you're supposed to be, then don't stop, because I'm so glad that I didn't. I'm so glad that I pushed and I stayed connected, and I contacted those people, and I worked hard throughout COVID, because this is where I'm meant to be. So I think, you've got to work hard, but I think the risk versus the reward, it's just totally worth it. So there are some great rewards at the end of it all, and just stay positive, be happy. If you're not happy, then move out of it straight away. But if you're passionate enough, then stick with it, because it is a great industry to be in.
Oh, I love that, and thank you for those tips. Like, I think a lot of people will follow those, and it's really important to stay true to yourself. There's enough people as is in the industry. Why would you want to copy them and just be carbon copies of them? It's just not fun, and you want to be enjoying yourself at the same time. So following your heart and staying true to yourself, I think, are the two components to being successful in your career, and perseverance. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
And I loved your Legends in Lockdown videos. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. That was just a bit of fun. Plus, I wanted to show people, like, Emma just chilling in lockdown. Like, that's the real me. So a lot of people would say to me on air, just be yourself, like, show us Emma. And I'm like, well, I haven't really had the opportunity to, because when you're in pit lane, you have to be very serious, and they come down to you when someone's just had a crash. And I'm like, do you want me to be jokey, funny Emma when someone's just had a crash and you get 30 seconds on air? It was really tough when people kept putting it on me to be like, show us Emma. And I'm like, give me the opportunity to. So now that I finally, like, the world is my oyster, I finally have the opportunity to show everyone Emma. It's a really nice, freeing feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was nice seeing that. And I think if we've learnt anything from COVID and from lockdown, it's that whatever we want to do, we can do it. We just have to push forward.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
And I love.
I'm glad 2020 is almost over.
Oh my God. You couldn't say that enough. Honestly, I'm just like, put on a brave face and keep pushing forward, because there's light at the end of the tunnel for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, for 3 tips to unearthing our well-being, I know they're different for everyone, and for you with that busy schedule that you've got, like you've mentioned the self-care tips, but what would be some tips for everyone, like going forward?
So, as in having the right balance, similar to
whatever you take from the question.
Okay, well, make sure you get sleep.
That's important.
Tips. Okay. I would say, making sure that you are getting the right balance is probably a good one. What has everyone else said? I feel like I'm behind on this.
There's no comparisons here, don't worry. Your answers have been great.
Okay. Okay. Tips. Oh, okay. Don't go on silly diets.
Yes.
I don't believe in anything like that. I just believe in everything in moderation, because I think you're up and then you're down for something like that. Looking after your skin and your just body and what you're putting into your body, just in general. Except for over Christmas time, because I believe you can eat as much chocolate and drink as much alcohol as you want. No, I didn't say that. Am I going to get in trouble for saying that?
Not at all. You know what? That's life. Like, you have those periods where you're going to be enjoying yourself. No self-deprivation.
Yes, exactly. There you go. And then just being happy, which I think comes from all of that. You know, having a balanced lifestyle, having your sleep, and then just being happy in general. When you're happy with your body, the way you feel, and your healthiness, I think happiness comes from that.
Definitely.
Is that a good tip?
Yes, definitely. And I think people take those tips for granted as well. Like, once you start implementing them, you will actually reap the benefits of just having that routine and following it through. Like,
routine. My body needs routine. Routine, definitely. Give yourself a routine, definitely. I think.
Yeah, because like fad diets, they don't work. Like depriving yourself from carbohydrates and all the things that you enjoy in life just make you bitter, and
I agree.
It doesn't fill your cup. That's definitely it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Much.
Goodbye 2020, everyone. Happy New Year.
Yes, and have yourself a Merry Christmas. Hope you get all your Christmas shopping done.
I will try. So everyone, it's Tuesday before Christmas and I haven't done my Christmas shopping, which never happens because I'm the most organised person on the planet. But yeah, this year things have worked out a little bit differently, but I will get it done.
Definitely, and I wish you all the luck in the world. And where can we find you before we finish off? Okay, so at
Notarfrancesco on my Instagram. Don't go to my Facebook because no one uses Facebook anymore. I'm on LinkedIn at Notarfrancesco as well. And that's really all I'm using. I sort of just started TikTok, which is also at Notarfrancesco, but I haven't really gone too deep into it yet. Maybe that's something to get into in the new year.
I love it. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed listening to my chat with Emma and got inspired too. She really was a delight to have on. As she mentioned, you can find her on Instagram to see what she's up to, or perhaps read her car advice. To ensure Ask Elizabeth and Unearthing Wellbeing continues to grow, please subscribe and rate the podcast and share on your socials, not forgetting to tag us all. I hope you have a lovely day, be safe and be kind. Take care.